Okay, so yes, hello everyone, and welcome back to another uh, direct tax session. And today we are going to start with one of the most important chapter of your syllabus, that is residential status. Correct. Now, before we go on to any other thing to be discussed, why actually we need to study the residential status? Okay, has a very clear-cut point of differentiation, or the answer will be very simple. Okay, because this is the very what I can say early of the syllabus, so you might not be able to say that, but after you complete a bit part of the income tax syllabus, you yourself can answer why residential status is so much important. Before this, there was only one place where we read about resident word. Can anyone point it out where we have read resident word? It was in section 87A, correct? That is rebate. If you remember, we read that a rebate is available to resident individual, correct? So what actually the resident word means, now you'll get that. Okay. Now, why actually we need to know the residential status, or why we are reading this residential status? Okay, because of two things. Okay, one obviously is to determine his residential status, and second one, as we'll go with the chapter, we'll come to know that actually taxability. Okay, we say now that this income is taxable. Okay, income from that source, salary head is taxable, PGBP head is profit and gains from business and profession is taxable, other sources taxable, capital gain is taxable, correct? So you will see that based on the residential status, the taxability will arise. Okay, so if I just give you a very basic view, have you heard about NRI? Correct, this is the very common word that you must have heard about, NRI. Okay, people call it non-resident Indian, but this is not resident Indian. This will be non-resident individual. Okay, don't worry, I'll come to that discussion. We'll discuss everything. Okay, so at a very base first step, what we'll do, the residential status will help us to determine the first thing, which is whether a person, I'm saying person, not individual. Okay, person means all those names, is resident. Okay, is resident or non-resident. Okay, status of the person, whether he is resident and whether he is non-resident. Okay, now residential status will be calculated differently for different persons. Okay, now if I have to group, I'll say at first individual, then there will be HUF, Hindu Undivided Family. Third, it will be company, and fourth will be others, other persons. Other persons में क्या क्या नाम आएगा? AOP, BOI, correct, AJP, firm, correct. So these all name will come into other person. Okay, the most important for our syllabus is this individual. Okay, and you'll see that all the calculations that we have to do now, or simple words, जितना ज्यादा सिर इंडिविजुअल में खबर मतलब लगाना पड़ेगा ना, HUF company and other persons are not even 20% of it. Okay, so the basic thing is that why residential status? To know, okay, what will be the taxability of that said person, correct? And second one, what income of that person will be taxable, correct? Then here also we'll read about different kinds of income. Okay, different kinds of income means here we'll read about different kind of income, such as which is Indian income and what is foreign income, correct? And then we'll read that for what category of person, okay, determining depending upon the residential status, which income will be taxable to whom, correct? So we'll start with individual. We'll start with individual. Okay. So for individual, residential status will be similar two ways. One will be resident and one will be non-resident. Okay. And it completely depends upon period of stay in India. Okay. It will completely depend upon that for how many days or for how long he's there in India. Okay. Now, the very first thing which can be said on a very layman language on upper one, that if he stays more in India, he will be resident, correct? And if he stays less or he's not in India, then he's non-resident, correct? But for individual, there will be one more bifurcation, that will be if he is resident, then he is resident. Sorry. Resident and ordinary resident. We call it ROR. Okay. Or otherwise, he will be resident and not ordinary resident. We call it RNOR. Correct. Now, the way we defined that resident means definitely the person who has stayed more in India, non-resident means who has stayed less or who has not stayed in India, correct? Similarly, if I try to define resident and ordinary resident, means the resident who has been resident in India, correct? From past few years. Okay, that means not only this year, but definitely he was resident in other years as well. Okay, and resident and not ordinary resident means, okay, for this year he is resident, okay, but for previously some period or in previous year he was not resident, correct? But if he is non-resident in this year, then it has no such bifurcation. Okay, it has no such bifurcation, correct? So what do you think? First, we need to determine what resident, non-resident, or ROR or RNR. What is the first step that we'll do? At first, we'll determine whether he is a resident or non-resident. Okay, and then secondly, we'll move on to ROR or RNR. After determining that one is resident or non-resident, then we'll move ahead. Correct. So this is determined by basic condition. Basic condition. And this is determined by additional condition. Okay. And before we start to calculate, okay, we start to read the rules, how actually these all are, how these all conditions, what are these conditions, how to determine. Okay, there are some points, okay, which has to be noted at the very beginning, is that residential status is determined in respect of each previous year. In respect of each previous year. That means it might be possible that for the previous year, 22-23, I might not be a resident, but for the previous year, 21 and 22, I may be resident. Correct. So for each previous year, a separate calculations has to be made to determine what is his residential status. Okay. Remember, let me write it. Person of Indian origin and residential status are two different things. Okay, they are not the one and the same thing. Okay, पर्सन ऑफ इंडियन ओरिजिन एक वर्ड होता है POI, शायद आप लोगों ने पहले कभी सुना हो. वो और रेसिडेंशियल स्टेटस दो अलग अलग चीज है. ठीक है, दोनों एक चीज नहीं. पर्सन ऑफ इंडियन ओरिजिन पता है हम कब बोलते हैं? ओके, पर्सन ऑफ इंडियन ओरिजिन whom we call it, I'll come to that, and residential status is what we are going to read. Okay, अभी एक ऊपर ऊपर से बता देता हूँ. पर्सन ऑफ इंडियन ओरिजिन मतलब आपके माता पिता या आपके या उनके माता पिता, मतलब दादाजी या दादी जी. करेक्ट. उनमें से कोई भी अगर अनडिवाइडेड इंडिया, मतलब द टाइम व्हेन इंडिया वाज नॉट डिवाइडेड, सो बांग्लादेश, पाकिस्तान, ऑल वेयर इन अनडिवाइडेड इंडिया, अगर पैदा हुए हैं इंडिया में, ओके, सो they are considered to be person of Indian origin. Okay, just a small thing. Okay, I'm not yet discussing this. If your mother, father, or your grandfather, grandmother, any of them has born in uh, undivided India, okay, or in India, okay, after partition, so they are considered to be person of Indian origin. We'll come to that discussion. It is there. Okay. And one more thing to be discussed at very early is that, okay, we'll not discuss it. Now we'll read and we'll discuss. Okay. See what it is written. Residential status determines the scope of chargeability. Whether a person is chargeable to a particular income or not depends on his residential status. Okay. Whether you are going to pay tax in India or not, or what a source of income is tax for you, what source of income is taxable in India, completely depends upon your residential status. Okay. So for individual and HUF, there is resident and non-resident, and further for resident, it is ordinary resident in India or not ordinary resident in India. But for others, there are only two bifurcation, that is either resident or non-resident. Nothing more than that. But for individual and HUF, after being resident, you have to determine whether he is a ROR. Okay, this is what we call it, ROR, or he is a RNOR. Okay. See, some general points are that different for each previous year. Okay. Single status of each source of income. Okay, you will come to know that after some time. Impact of citizenship, no impact of citizenship and residential status are different concept. Okay, and it is a country specific. That means it might be possible that for the same previous year, you might be resident for two different countries or more than one countries. Okay. So it's not like that for once you are a resident in India, that doesn't mean you cannot be resident for other countries. It can be possible depending upon their rules and regulations, how they calculate the residential status. But now how to determine the residential status? So we read that at first we need to check basic condition, correct? And upon basic condition, once decided whether he is a resident or he is a non-resident, we'll further go to ROR or RNOR with the help of additional condition. Additional condition. Okay. Now, for individual, it is section 6, subsection 1. Okay. Resident, when he will be called as a resident, satisfies any one of the below condition. Okay. So below, two conditions are given. If he satisfies any one of them, he will be called resident in India for that previous year. Okay. What is that? The first condition says that he is in India for the previous year for a period of 182 days or more. 182 days or more. Correct? So what has this basic meaning? इसका सीधा साधा क्या मतलब है? अगर आप पिछले साल, correct? What is our assessment year? And what is our previous year?
Our assessment year is 23 to 24, and previous year is 22 to 23.
Correct. So this is our assessment year and this is our previous year. So how to determine that for previous year 22 and 23 he is resident or not? So first condition is just see whether he was in India in 182 days or more. Correct. Remember, this 182 days doesn't mean that you have to be at a stretch. मतलब आप आते जाते रहो तो भी चलेगा, सब मिला के. ओके, you are coming to India, you're going out of India, coming to India, going out of India. Okay, for how many times, no matter. Okay, it's not important that it should be in a stretch. Okay, there can be gaps between your arrival. If that, then also it's okay. In all total, it should be 182 days or more. Or why? Or because here the word is any one of them. Either you stay in 182 days or he is in India for a period of 60 days or more during the previous year. Correct. Now see what more they are saying. Be in India for 60 days only. But they have added something. And for 365 and for 365 or more days during 4 previous years immediately preceding the relevant previous years. So our previous year is what? 22 and 23. Correct. So 4 immediately preceding previous years will be what? 21, 22. Correct. 2021, 19 and 20, 18 and 19. Correct. So in this all total 4 years, you should be 365 days or more. Okay. So the basic condition is either be in India for 182 days. Okay. The very basic thing, be in India for 182 days. But suppose if you are not in India for 182 days, but were you there for at least 60 days? He said yes. Okay, then there is one more condition attached to it, that is during the 4 previous years immediately preceding your previous year, were you in India for 365 days? He says yes. Okay, then also you are resident. Either this or that. Okay, I'll come to more discussion, but let's see. Non-resident does not satisfy any of the 2 conditions. Okay, don't be in India for 182 days, or be in 60 days, or in the 4 previous years be less than 365 days. Correct. Or simply stay less than 60 days also. Correct. See, he will be resident or NR only for the relevant previous year. Every year it has to be determined separately. Okay, for every year different, it has to be calculated differently. Okay, now here is one illustration there. Okay, now you'll see that in the note which I have given, none of the illustrations are being done. Okay, I have left space for answers so that we can solve it in the class itself. Okay, I hope you all have got the notes. It was shared in the group beforehand. Okay, so the first illustration is what? Sam came to India first time during the previous year, 22 and 23. Okay, during the previous year, he stayed in India for, at first is 50 days. Okay, for second it is 183 days. For third it is 153 days. Determine his residential status for the assessment year 23 and 24. Correct. So what are the conditions? Repeat with me. What is the basic condition?
So he should be resident in the previous year for 182
Not
days.
a resident, he must be in India. 182
Okay,
days
sorry.
or more. Correct. Or what is the condition?
Yes, sir. Second one is previous year में 60 days or preceding 4 previous year में 365 days.
365 days. Correct. Now see, the first one says that he was in India for only 50 days. Correct. So definitely
not satisfied.
First condition is cancelled. Correct. First one is cancelled. Will second one trigger? No, because he is not even
No.
for 60 days. Correct? So here the answer will be he is a non-resident. Correct? Yes, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The second one says that he was in India for 183 days. So what are the conditions? The first condition is 182 days more, but he's definitely now he's becoming by one, condition one, correct? Do we need to check condition two? No.
No, sir.
So he is a resident. Okay. And 153 days. So here definitely first one will not be triggered, correct? But second one,
Yes, sir.
60
इसमें
days,
एक
correct?
point missing है.
Correct. 60 days is being fulfilled, correct? But for preceding previous year 365 days. Will that be fulfilled?
No.
You will say condition, sir, diya hi nahi hua, correct? Nothing is mentioned. But see,
Yes, sir.
they have given a hint. He came to the India for the first time. So that means there's no way that he could have been in India for at least one day in the 4 previous year, correct? So you have to read the questions very carefully. Okay. So definitely he is a non-resident over here.
Non-resident.
He is also a non-resident. Okay, now let's see the illustration 2. Andy, a British national, comes to India for the first time during the year 1819. Okay. During the financial years 1819, 1920, 2021, 21, 22, 22, 23. Okay, he was in India for 55 days, 60 days, 80 days, 160 days, 70 days, respectively. Correct?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So what we have to do now, we have to make a column. Year, days means stay. Okay, so we'll start with our previous year first. So that is 22 and 23. How many days he was in India? 70 days. Correct? 21 and
More than 60
22,
days.
160 days. Okay. 2021, 80
80
days.
days.
Okay.
20 or 19.
1920.
Sorry.
1920, he was in 60 days. Okay. And for 18 and 19, he was in
55
for
days.
55 days. Okay. So this is the previous year that is important for us. Correct. So see, okay, now so what is the first condition? 182 days plus or 60 days plus
Plus
365
4 years.
4 previous years. Correct. Now see, 182
Yes.
is definitely not fulfilled in the previous year 2023. Correct. So it will be striked off. But see, 60 days, he was there for 70 days. Correct. So still now there is a chance. Correct. How to determine? We have to go 4 previous year. First,
It was 355 days.
second, third, and fourth. So all total it should be 365 days.
5, but it is not.
Correct. So add all 4. क्या आ रहा है?
355.
355 days is coming. Is it 365 days?
No.
No. Correct. So this condition also gets struck out. So what will be the answer? Answer will be
It is a non-resident.
he is a non-resident. It is called.
I'm sorry. He
So
is non-resident.
conclusion will be okay. He is okay. Give me a second. कोई आवाज आ रहा है क्या बैकग्राउंड से?
नहीं.
He is non-resident for the assessment year 23-24. Correct? Sanjana and Alan, is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So this is done. So we got the basic conditions that it is 182 days or more, or 60 days plus 365 days in immediately preceding 4 previous years. Okay. This is the way how an individual can become resident or non-resident. Correct? Now, there are some exceptions to it. Okay. What are the exceptions? What are the exceptions? Exceptions to above rule. Okay. Which rule? I'll come to that. In the following cases, assessee will be treated as a resident in India only if he is in India for 182 days or more. So this is exceptions to what rule? 60 days plus 365 days in 4 previous years. Correct? It is exception to that. So that means if these two are the cases, then he can be only resident with the help of 182 days or more. Second basic condition will not apply to them. Correct? What are those? An Indian citizen who leaves India during the previous year for employment purpose. Okay. That means if someone, Indian citizen, okay, here they are saying Indian citizen. Okay, not a foreign citizen. Okay. So if an Indian citizen who leaves India during the previous year for employment purpose, so in that case, only 182 days condition will be checked. 60 days plus 365 days conditions will not be checked. Okay. Remember, only leaving for employment purpose, not okay. So suppose for example, if someone leaves during the previous year.
So
हाँ बोलिए.
सर वो दो कंडीशन था, दो कंडीशन में से कोई एक कंडीशन फुलफिल होगा तो भी वो रेसिडेंट हो सकता है ना?
कौन से केस में? ये एक्सेप्शन वाले केस में?
नहीं नहीं, मैं पूछ रही हूँ बस।
हाँ 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 हाँ.
हाँ, तो इस वाले में एक्सेप्शन यही है ना कि अगर कोई पर्सन प्रीवियस ईयर में एम्प्लॉयमेंट पर्पस के लिए इंडिया को छोड़ के चला गया तो उसको 182 डेज वाले में एक्सेप्शंस है, 60 डेज वाले में तो है ही नहीं वो चीज। क्योंकि हम लोग को दो मतलब चेक करना रहता है, या तो 182 डेज, और अगर 182 डेज फुलफिल नहीं हुआ तो 60 डेज वाला।
नहीं नहीं नहीं, इनके लिए 60 डेज वाला कंडीशन खारिज हो जाता है. क्यों? क्योंकि देखिए इनको एक एडवांटेज दिया जाता है. क्योंकि देखिए क्या होता है ना, ये क्रू, ये जो अभी एम्प्लॉयमेंट पढ़ेंगे, नीचे क्रू का पढ़ेंगे ना, यहाँ पे 60 डेज तो इजीली हो जाएगा ना, तो इनको छूट दी जाती है.
तो
तो
इनको
इनके लिए
एबव रूल वाले में छूट दी जाती है ना कि 182 डेज वाला इनके ऊपर
नहीं नहीं
लागू
नहीं
होगा ही नहीं।
नहीं नहीं नहीं, सिर्फ और सिर्फ 182 डेज वाला रूल ही लागू होगा. ये लाइन पढ़िए ना, ये सेंटेंस पढ़िए क्या लिखा है. इन द फॉलोइंग केस assessee shall be treated as a resident in India only if he is in India for 182 days or more. तो एक्सेप्शन बोल के हम पढ़ रहे हैं और बोल रहा 182 डेज से ही रेसिडेंट बनेगा, तो एक्सेप्शन हुआ किसका? सिर्फ 60 डेज और 365 डेज का ना. ये मैं समझा पा रहा हूं क्या क्या बोल रहा है? ये बोल रहा है एक्सेप्शन रहेगा ऊपर वाले रूल से. ठीक है, इतना पढ़ के तो हमको ये लगा कि चलो दोनों का दोनों एक्सेप्शन है, मतलब इनके केस में शायद कुछ और ही लगेगा. लेकिन फिर लिखते वक्त ये बोल दे रहा है कि ये जो नीचे दो केस है ना, ये तभी रेसिडेंट होंगे जब सिर्फ ये 182 डेज वाला कंटिन्यू करेंगे, फुलफिल करेंगे. इसका मतलब क्या? एक्सेप्शन 60 डेज और 365 डेज का हुआ ना.
यस सर।
क्या हुआ? आप इतनी कंफ्यूजिंग साउंड क्यों कर रही है?
सर इसके आगे बढ़ाइए तो हम समझ जाते हैं।
Okay, so the exception is for 60 days plus 365 days in the immediately preceding 4 previous year. Okay, so these cases, that means the first one that we read, an Indian citizen who leaves India during the previous year for employment purpose, for him, he will only be in resident in India if he was in India for 182 days or more. 60 days plus 365 days condition will not be applicable. Correct. The second exception is that an Indian citizen who leaves India during the previous year as a member of crew of Indian ship. As a member of crew. Okay, not as a what I can say. समझ लीजिए आप you are going for a holiday on a crew or on a ship. Correct. So you won't be counted as a member of the crew. Okay, member of the crew matlab those who are working over there. Okay, so if an Indian citizen who leaves India during the previous year as a member of a crew of Indian ship, then for him also only 182 days condition will be checked. 60 days plus 365 days condition won't be checked. Okay. Now, there was a illustration today to this. Okay. Now come to this. See, what actually happens now? Okay, I'm talking about this crew member. Okay. Crew member of ship. Okay, I'll arrange the pages and I'll send you the notes again. This page is came down. See what actually happens now when they join as a member of a crew on the ship. Now they have to sign a certificate which is known as CDC certificate. This is continuous discharge certificate. Okay, so from the date when they join, now they sign in. Okay, and the day when they reach India and they are coming to home, okay, means they are taking a leave, then they have to sign out. Okay, so it is how to calculate that for how many days he was out of India. The date from which he signed it to the date when he signed in. It will be assumed that from the date when he signed it and from the date when he is signing out, he was out of India. Correct, because we know na India is not only up to the land. Correct, up to 12 nautical miles. It is in India, correct? So it was tough to determine how to say. Sometimes it used to take 4 days. Sometimes it used to take 3 days to what I meant to say means to cross that 12 nautical miles to actually be out of India. So government made out this rule that the date from when they are signing in the continuous discharge certificate and till the date when they will be signing out, that date will be assumed as if he was in out of India. Correct. So just see this example. In the continuous discharge certificate, the date of joining is 1st January 2021 and date ending the voyage is 31st January. Correct. So that means from 1st January to 31st January, that means for 31 days, it will be assumed that he was not in India. Okay. Is this clear? Yes, everybody. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just now discuss that. So if the date of joining, that means signing in date is 1st January and signing off date is 31st January. So it is assumed that for 31 days, he was out of India. Okay. Now, actually, this eligible voyage is not that important, but yes, let's take a quick look of eligible voyage. Voyage undertaken by a ship engaged in the carriage of passengers or freight in international traffic, where if originated from any port in India, has its destination any port outside India. Okay, so simple meaning is that it is leaving from Indian port. Okay, and if it has originated for any port outside India and has a destination any port in India. Simply, this is simple. If you are talking that crew member of a ship, definitely if a ship is going from USA to Japan, definitely will not talk about that. Okay, so either it may be the carry of passenger or maybe freight. Okay, in international traffic, it might be originating from India to outside India or from outside India to India. Okay, that is the eligible voyage. Okay, so we are reading an exception. We are reading exception to 60 days and 365 days rule. Two things that we have read is that Indian citizen who leaves India during the previous year for employment purpose and Indian citizen who is leaving as a member of crew of Indian ship. Okay, for crew of crew member of ship, we have to how to determine that which period to exclude. The signing in date in the continuous discharge certificate and signing out date. Okay, both the period, okay, both the dates and between them will be considered as that he is outside India. Okay, now let's see this example. Okay, Miss Pal, an Indian citizen, left India for the first time on 1st April 2022 for joining job in Tokyo. Correct? So what it is, by reading this, is it something is coming that it is exception?
Employer वाला है.
Correct? Exception to second basic condition. Okay, she came to India on 11 Jan 2023 only for 170 days. Determine the residential status for the previous year 22 and 20. Do I have to say something more, or is it done?
It's done, sir.
What it is done? Then what is the answer?
No.
What no? No means what?
मतलब she is non-resident.
She is non-resident. Everyone agrees to her?
Yes, sir.
Correct. I don't know why I left so much space. Okay. So here your homework will be to draw something beautiful. Okay. Okay. Now see, again that points to remember, stay at same place in India is not necessary. Okay, you may be going from this place to that place. Okay, continuous stay in India is not necessary. Correct? Like the example we did. Okay, for that year this much of days were there. For that year this much of days were there. Okay, a person shall be deemed to be reside in India if he is on the territorial waters of India. Correct? For instance, if an individual stays on a ship which is in the territorial water of India, treated as his presence in India. What actually is a territorial waters? So suppose if this is the India, it is the India. So till this, okay, from every place is 12 nautical miles is what is considered to be Indian waters. Okay, so if you are in the 12 nautical mile zone, inside the 12 nautical zone, it will be assumed that as if you are in India.
Sir, India is peninsular. तो ये चार साइड.
अरे समझाने के लिए आप तो एकदम लिटरली ले गए. आप तो एकदम लिटरली ले गए मेरे ड्राइंग को. Okay, yes, one thing that everyone knows about me, never ever question on my drawing. Okay, you don't know how much gut does it takes to draw so bad. Okay, so what we have done till now, we are done with the basic condition. Correct? Basic condition and exception to the same. Exception to the same. Exception as well. So what is, if you're done with the basic condition, so at what is the stage that we already know, that whether he is a resident or he is a non-resident. Correct? Now, do you think that if he is a non-resident, we need to see anything else in this chapter? No. So if you are coming to additional condition, that is 6, subsection 6, that means one is definitely a resident, and then we are moving to this part. Okay. Just a second. Okay, so there is one more exception, okay, to the basic condition. Now we'll cover up this basic exemption, then we'll move on to the additional condition. Okay, what is that exemption? Now see, exemption to what? To this basic condition. Okay, we are still on to the basic condition and we are reading exception to that. Okay, हम basic condition का ही exception अभी करने जा रहे हैं. What is this? Point B, in case of an Indian citizen or a person of Indian origin. Okay, both. Okay, see here what is it. who is person of Indian origin? A person is deemed to be Indian origin if he or either of his parents or grandparents were born in undivided India. Here, grandparents may be maternal or paternal. Okay, दादाजी दादी हो या नाना नानी. Okay, paternal, maternal. Okay, so they are deemed a person of Indian origin. Okay, now see the first exemptions whatever were there, that was regarding Indian citizen, correct? But in this it might be Indian citizen or a person of Indian origin. Okay, what he says that comes to visit on India during the previous year. Correct. Comes to visit in India during the previous year means definitely he's residing outside India. Correct. His total income other than income from foreign source. Okay. Now see, for us, okay, I'll just discuss this. Income are of two types. Okay. One is Indian and one is foreign. Okay. Just for basic understanding, Indian income is which has been earned in India. Okay. And foreign income is which has been earned outside India and has no connection with India. We'll read these things in detail as well. Okay, but for now, just Indian income is which has been earned from Indian sources. Okay, maybe business, maybe employment, or maybe any kind of investment that has been made in India. Okay, remember this. And foreign means outside India. So his total income other than income from foreign source means which income? अगर foreign source निकल ही जा रहा है यहाँ से तो कौन सा income बचा? Indian income? Correct. Exceeds 15 lakh during the previous year. So what actually they are saying? Okay, if we try to Indian citizen or person of Indian origin, okay, comes to visit India and has income of more than 15 lakhs. Okay, or I may write it has Indian income. Okay, has Indian income of more than 15 lakhs, then this condition will arise. What is that? Second basic condition changed to 60 days to 120 days. Second basic condition changed to 60 days, from 60 days to 120 days. What actually they are trying to say? Will anyone try to explain? It's mean to say that
it means ये हुआ ना कि सेकेंड वाला जो बेसिक कंडीशन था जो 60 डेज प्लस 365 डेज वाला वो 60 डेज नहीं होकर के 120 डेज हो जाएगा.
Is that so?
Okay.
यही तो जो आपने बोला यही है ना?
Yes sir.
Correct. So see how this condition will arise. Okay, what is the what I can say? How this point will trigger? Indian citizen or person of Indian origin. He is not leaving from India. Correct. Previous whatever the exceptions were, they are going out of India. Maybe employment or maybe as a member of crew of Indian ship. But this arises when he's coming to India. Okay, and has an Indian income of more than 15 lakhs. Then 182 days or more. Okay, 182 days or more, or 120 days plus 365 days. This is the basic condition. There one more logic is there, but I want you to understand it by yourself. Okay. मनोज सर आपको दूसरा लिंक भेजेंगे ग्रुप. ये आइडिया भी मैं यूज कर. चलिए खुद ही चलेगा. Okay, but if the same condition is there and income is up to 15 lakhs only, then only basic condition 1 applies. That means 182 days. Yes, is that clear to everyone or not? What I'm saying is that, okay, now we are going to what to say, decode the complete thing. Basic condition. First condition is that 182 days or more. Correct? Or second basic condition, 60 days or more plus 365 days in immediately preceding 4 previous years. Correct? This was the basic condition. At first, we read exception to second basic condition. What was those? What was those? Both were Indian citizen leaving India for two reasons. One is employment and one is member of crew. Crew member of crew member of Indian ship. Crew member of Indian ship. Correct? This is done. Okay. Now, do you think, can I add one more point to the second basic condition, that Indian citizen comes to visit India, okay, and has income from Indian source less than or equal to 15 lakh. It is also exception to the second basic condition. Correct or not? Yes, everybody? ये समझ में आया? Correct? एक और exception है, okay, or not an exception. Now what I'm discussing is modification of second basic condition from 60 days or more to 120 days or more plus 365 days in immediately preceding 4 previous years. What is that? Same thing, Indian citizen. Okay, also I have to add a person of Indian origin. Okay, Indian citizen or person of Indian origin comes to visit India. See, it is same till now, comes to visit India. Correct? Only difference is income shall be more than 15 lakh. Okay, and as income from Indian source of more than 15 lakh. Take your time, read it again.
सर मोर देन 15 लाख होगा तो 120 डेज हो जाएगा ना?
120 डेज आएगा, करेक्ट, इतना ही है। और देखिए सेकेंड बेसिक कंडीशन का एग्जम्पशन ज्यादातर वही है जब इंडिया से बाहर जा रहा है। करेक्ट? एक ही जगह है जब इंडिया में आ रहा है लेकिन 15 लाख तक ही इंडियन सोर्स से इनकम है तो उसका सेकेंड बेसिक कंडीशन एग्जम्प्ट हो जाता है। करेक्ट? लेकिन अगर कोई ऐसा है जो आ तो रहा है इंडिया में, इंडियन सिटीजन, पर्सन ऑफ इंडियन ओरिजिन हो, ठीक है, और उसका इंडियन सोर्स से इनकम 15 लाख से ज्यादा हो, तो उसका 120 डेज प्लस 365 डेज हो जाएगा।
ठीक है सर।
अरे समझ में आया क्या? रैप गऊं का मगज में आया क्या?
यस सर, आ गया।
चलो,
आया।
रुचि रुचि को समझ में नहीं, मगज में आया, क्योंकि उन्होंने रिप्लाई मगज में दिया। Okay. Now always remember that, okay, always remember that if someone is is coming and is being trapped from this condition, he will always be RNOR. No need to check additional basic condition, additional conditions from him. Wow. Okay, it will always be RNOR, more than 15 lakh. Let's see what they have given with the foreign source. See, foreign source का क्या मतलब है? Income from foreign source means income which accrues or arises outside India, except income derived from a business control or a profession set up in India and which is not deemed to accrue or arise in India. मतलब उस इनकम से दूरों दूर तक इंडिया का कोई संपर्क नहीं. Correct? And if he becomes resident by this route, he is always RNO. ओके, ये क्लियर है ना? फिर से बोलियो तो मैं फिर से बताता हूं, क्योंकि अभी मैं फिर कुछ बताने जा रहा हूं जो इसी टाइप का है, लेकिन ये नहीं. ओके, I'm again going to say something, one more exception kind of thing I'm going to portray, okay, in
सर
front of
एक
you.
बार और रिवाइज कराई दीजिए।
एक बार और करते. Okay, let's do once more. First in Hindi, then in English. See, first we saw basic condition. What actually basic condition किस में मदद करता है? ये मदद करता है आप रेसिडेंट हो या नॉन रेसिडेंट हो, ये बताएं. ठीक है, तो हमने बेसिक कंडीशन पढ़ा 182 डेज और मोर और 360 डेज प्लस 365 डेज और मोर इन इमीडिएटली प्रेसिडेंट पीरियड. ठीक है, चलिए, ये तो बेसिक कंडीशन पढ़ा. फिर हमने पढ़ा कि कुछ जगह ऐसी है जहां ये 60 डेज प्लस 365 डेज वाला ट्रिगर नहीं होगा. कौन कौन सी जगह पे? आप इंडियन सिटीजन हो, इंडिया छोड़ के जा रहे हो, चाहे एम्प्लॉयमेंट के लिए जाओ, चाहे एज अ क्रू मेंबर ऑफ इंडियन शिप जाओ, तो आपके लिए सिर्फ और सिर्फ 182 डेज ही अप्लीकेबल. करेक्ट? या फिर आप इंडियन सिटीजन हो या पर्सन ऑफ इंडियन ओरिजिन हो, क्योंकि इंडिया आ तो रहा है लेकिन उसका इंडियन सोर्स का इनकम 15 लाख या 15 लाख से कम है, तो भी आपके लिए सिर्फ 182 डेज वाला ही कंडीशन देखा जाएगा. यहां तक ठीक है? फिर आता है कि एक जगह ऐसा है जहां पे ये सेकंड कंडीशन को ना थोड़ा सा मॉडिफाई किया जाता है. मतलब 60 डेज जो है ना, सिर्फ उसको 120 डेज किया जाता है और 365 डेज और मोर इन प्रीवियस ईयर. क्या है वो? आप इंडियन सिटीजन हो या पर्सन ऑफ इंडियन ओरिजिन हो, आप इंडिया आ तो रहे हो. पिछले वाले में क्या था? 15 लाख से कम था इनकम, यहां 15 लाख से ज्यादा होना चाहिए इंडियन सोर्स से इनकम. तो आपके लिए एक मॉडिफाइड रूल बनेगा जो कि 182 डेज और मोर और 120 डेज और मोर प्लस 365 डेज. ओके, और आप अगर इस रूट से बनते हो तो आप हमेशा RNOR ही बनोगे. इज दैट क्लियर टू एवरीवन? ओके, दिस इज द ओनली पॉइंट वेयर यू विल नीड सम ब्रेन. आफ्टर दैट एवरीथिंग विल सीम टू बी वेरी इजी. इसके बाद एक और पॉइंट मैं बताऊंगा, उसी में आपको थोड़ा और दिमाग लगाना है बस. ओके, इफ यू कैन कैच this point, these 2 points and plus one more point I'm going to read now we'll discuss that. If these 2 points are clear na, residential status is like malai mein makhi. Okay, clear na? Then I'm moving to next condition. One more condition is there. Okay, now see, one more kind of exception kind of rule. An individual is deemed to be resident, the following condition as satisfied. डीम्ड मतलब मान लिया जाएगा। पहले में क्या था, आप आ रहे हो, आप जा रहे हो, करेक्ट, कुछ ना कुछ कर रहे हो, ठीक है। यहाँ पे बोल रहा है ना कि आपको मान ही लिया जाएगा। पढ़ते हैं, क्या पता ऐसा भी तो हो सकता है आया ही नहीं तो भी पकड़ा गया। Okay, and this is the very new rule. Okay, this is it's very new. See, an individual is deemed to be resident if following conditions are satisfied. In the above, what we have seen, at least that he is coming to India, correct? But here we'll see now that something else is written. So when you will be deemed resident, when you are a citizen of India, or your total income other than income from foreign source exceeds 15 lakh during the previous year. These 2 points are correct. He is not satisfying any of the basic condition. That means neither you are 182 days nor you are 60 days plus 365 days. Then also they are saying you will be deemed resident. Means आप एक दिन के लिए भी आओ, यार आप ना भी आओ, एक बार मैं ये भी बोल सकता हूँ, if you do not even come to India, then also you will be deemed resident. Okay, and one thing I think which shall be clear to you right now, I have not yet discussed, that if you are resident, definitely tax liability will increase. You have to pay some tax in India, correct. And D point, this is important, he is not liable to tax in any other country or territory by reason of his domicile or residence or any other criteria of similar nature. That means what they are trying to say. Let's decode it. Are you an Indian citizen? Are you Indian citizen? Your reply may be yes, or your reply may
Yes,
be.
sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm not asking, I'm decoding it.
अच्छा.
I'm not asking you all. It's very sure that I'm not dumb that I'll think any one of you is not an Indian citizen. Yes, then we need to check one more thing. Is your income from Indian source exceeds 15 lakh? Reply yes or no. मेरा ही नहीं होता तो आपका कहाँ होगा? चलिए, yes, then one thing more. Satisfying any basic condition, that means any basic condition means those 182 days or 60 days plus 365 days in 4 previous. No, yes or no, correct? Again, that can be yes or no. Yes or no. If yes, then are you a resident in any other country? Yes or no. Yes, अब तो बच्चा तू फंस गया. You are deemed resident. Read it once. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. This won't be in yes. Okay. This will be in no. Then only this will trigger. Now see, okay. Can I crack a joke now? See what happened. Okay, I'll crack it in Hindi. क्या हुआ? पहले उससे सवाल, किसी से सवाल पूछा जा रहा है, इंडियन सिटीजन है, हाँ भाई। उसको एक और रास्ते में उसने देखा 2 लोग थे, ठीक, काफी लोग थे, ऐसे समझते हैं एक लाइन में खड़े थे, सबसे पूछा जा रहा था इंडियन सिटीजन हो, तो उसने देखा यस बोल दे। हाँ, तो पीछे वाले ने देखा ना कि यस बोलने पे उसको कहीं और लेके चले गए, वो बोला बाबा नहीं, मैं नहीं, ये बच गया। ठीक है, वो आया, अब जिसको पकड़ा गया उससे पूछा 15 लाख से ज्यादा आपका इंडियन सोर्स का इनकम? वो बोला हाँ। हाँ बोला, उसको फिर ठेल के कहीं भेज दिया। ये पीछे वाला देख लिया, अरे वो बोला नहीं नहीं मेरा नहीं, बच गया। अब इसने क्या देखा ना, इसने देखा मैं 2 बार हाँ बोला ना तो मैं फंस गया, इस बार ना मैं ना बोलता हूँ। करेक्ट। तो उससे पूछा क्या आप बेसिक कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई करते हो? उसने बोला ना, क्योंकि उसको लगा कि हाँ हाँ बोल रहा हूं तो मेरे को तो आगे आगे जाना पड़ रहा है। उसने बोला ना, जैसे ही ना बोला ना, उसका गला ही पकड़ लिया। ठीक है, अब फिर उससे पूछा कोई और कंट्री में रेसिडेंट है कि नहीं? अब बेचारा कंफ्यूज हो गया, हाँ बोले या ना बोले। फिर उसने बोला अच्छा एक काम करो, अरे ये भी मैंने, ओके आई हैव डन दिस आल्सो मिस्टेक, ओके। If you are resident in any other country, then you won't be deemed resident. Correct? Then he said, 2 बार हाँ बोला ना तो मैं एक काम करता हूँ, 2 बार ना बोल के देखता हूँ, क्या पता भगवान। तो what he did, he prayed to God and he said no. फिर उसको दबोच के मार ही डाला। Okay. So Indian citizen, yes. Income from Indian source exceeds 15 lakh, yes. Satisfying any of the basic condition? No. Resident in any other country? No. Then please do come to India and pay tax. You are a deemed resident. Is this clear? अरे तो इतना मजाक वजाक कर लिया, अब तो समझ में आ जाना चाहिए।
यस सर।
करेक्ट। सो ही विल बी डीम्ड रेसिडेंट। अब डीम्ड रेसिडेंट हो गया तो फिर क्या होगा? विल डिस्कस दैट सोन। बट सी, इट इज नॉट एप्लीकेबल टू whom? Foreign citizen, even if he is a person of Indian origin. Why? Because it is a citizen. Correct. Yes, it's not a person of Indian origin. Correct. It's a citizen. Okay. If these conditions are satisfied, then such individual shall be deemed as a resident irrespective of the number of days in his stay in India. He will be deemed resident no matter how many days he has stayed in India. Or once I can say that he might not be in India as well. Okay. Do you need some time to grasp these things? Shall I
No,
wait
sir.
for?
It's okay.
Okay. Alan and Murli, it's clear to you. I hope so. Okay. Murli has replied. Alan, I hope it is clear to you as well. Correct. Okay. Remember that this were the only points where you is okay. Clear to Alan. Correct. Very good. So these were the only points where you needed some brain to be used. Okay. Or I can say that brain chewing. Okay. But now whatever we'll read will be like very easy, very easy. Okay. This COVID impact has no more. Okay. Important for you. Correct. So our basic condition is done. Okay. All the way धक्का मुक्की जो करना था, we are done with everything. Now we'll move. अच्छा बाबा रेसिडेंट तो बन गए. Okay. Now you are resident. अब क्या? Correct. But you remember at one place directly he became RNOR. What was that place? Can anyone remind me? Then I'll get that that person is very attentive in the class. At one place we discussed that no matter what it is, you will become RNOR. चलिए आप लोग पहले पंजा लड़ा लीजिए, जो जीतेगा वो रिप्लाई करेगा.
ये बताया सर आपने. नहीं, जो इनकम
आप,
is
आप
less than 15 lakh.
वाह,
ये वाला था.
बहुत सही.
और
चलिए संजना, आप
सर
आप आपको.
जिसमें RNOR वाला कह रहे हैं ना आप?
हाँ 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 हाँ, डायरेक्टली RNOR बन गया था.
सर वो तो तब था
बता
जब
रहे हैं.
कोई भी इंडियन सिटीजन या पर्सन ऑफ इंडियन ओरिजिन हमारे मतलब इंडिया में आता है और उसकी इनकम 15 लाख से ज्यादा होती है तो वो डायरेक्टली
कौन से
रेसिडेंट.
इनकम? कौन सी इनकम?
इंडियन सोर्स की इनकम.
इंडियन सोर्स इनकम. करेक्ट. रुचि
सॉरी सर, मिस्ड इट।
कोई बात
नहीं,
चलिए
मैंने
सो
सुना भी नहीं मेरा।
नहीं आप जो बोल रही है मुझे भी सुनने में काफी तकलीफ हो रही है, आवाज बहुत कट कट के आ रही है। ओके, so now resident part is done and now we are moving on to the additional basic condition and we are still into the individual. Okay, now additional basic condition to test whether resident individual is ordinary resident or not, section 6 subsection 6 amended. A resident individual in India can further be categorized as one resident and ordinary resident in India, that is ROR, and resident but not ordinary resident in India, that is RNOR. Okay. One condition fail, no need to check additional condition. Condition fail, no need to check additional condition for ROR case. हाँ मुरली,
सर मुझे एक बार फिर से बताइए ना, मेरी आवाज आ रही है आपको?
आप बहुत आवाज कट रही है, अभी भी कट रही है।
सर
मुरली, I didn't get your question, Murli. First condition fail, no need to check additional condition, ROR case. Murli, how will you become ROR if first conditional fail? It's not clear to me. I cannot understand this meaning. Okay. हाँ हाँ रुचि पूछिए, क्या पूछ रही थी? प्लीज एक्सप्लेन अबाउट RNOR। अरे RNOR वही वाला है ना, ये वाला, ये देखिए, मॉडिफिकेशन ऑफ द सेकंड बेसिक कंडीशन, जो 120 डेज वाला जो मॉडिफाई होता है, उससे अगर कोई बनता है तो वो डायरेक्ट
उसी में
RNOR।
था ना सर, जो 15 लाख से एक्सीड नहीं हुआ तो नहीं नहीं,
नहीं,
एक्सीड हो गया, सॉरी, एक्सीड हो गया वो वाला था।
जो नहीं हुआ तो वो बना भी नहीं, करेक्ट, जो हो गया वो बन गया।
हाँ, मैंने उल्टा बोल दिया।
कोई बात। Resident and ordinary resident but not ordinary resident RNOR. Okay, now for this, okay, what actually resident, how he will become resident and ordinary resident in India? Now see what is written here, both the condition. So to become ROR you have to fulfill both the condition, correct? But in the basic condition, what is what it was? Any one of, anyone, correct? So now, but now it is both. What are those? Resident in India in at least 2 out of 10 previous year immediately preceding the relevant previous year. No dates are there, correct? No date has been given, no days has been given. Out of 10 previous immediately preceding previous year, in 2 you shall be resident. How you will be resident? Basic condition. You have to check basic condition. You have to apply basic condition in all the 10 years and you have to check whether by 182 days or 60 days plus 365 days. Okay, this one. And resided in India for 730 days or more during CMA preceding years preceding the relevant previous year. So what they're saying, for ROR, you have to fulfill 2 conditions. One is resident in 2 years out of 10 previous immediately preceding previous year plus 730 days or more in 7 immediately preceding previous years. Okay. And just one more thing is that this deeming provision, if you remember, that you might not be present, or this one, deemed resident, this is also RNOR. Okay, so we got 2 conditions where they will directly become RNOR. Okay. I think I haven't said it correct. Okay. So now let's do one thing. Okay. Let me check, is there any examples that I have missed? No, there's no example. You have to check it by this. Okay, so what actually it is? So for ROR, you have to satisfy both. If you satisfy one, what you will be? RNOR. चलिए संजना का आंसर मैंने दे दी, ठीक है. So what are those ROR conditions? Resident in India in at least 2 out of 10 immediately preceding previous years, and 730 days or more resided in India during 7 preceding years immediately preceding the relevant previous year. Yes, everybody, is it clear? Correct. Now, these two conditions now where we have read about RNOR, that he deemed resident RNOR, correct? That was, one was Indian citizen, okay, Indian income of more than 15 lakh, correct? And one is deemed resident, correct? Indian citizen, okay, not liable to tax in any other country, plus not satisfying any of the basic condition, correct? So he will also be RNOR, correct? If they satisfy the additional condition as well, then also it is RNOR. Remember that. For them, you do not even need to check the additional conditions. They are always RNOR. Okay, because some deeming provisions are working on them. So at least they have done this much of courtesy that they have kept them in RNOR slab position. Okay. Now, if I move on to questions, I think you all will be okay with that, correct? Or I need to spend some more time with these words? Now, we'll see each and every case single-handedly. Okay. So for first case A. Okay, I have given the answers as well. Correct. Then why I have given answer space? Okay. Citizenship is foreign. Correct. So have you read anything, any of the exceptions that traps foreign as well? Citizenship? No, but they're saying that person of Indian origin. Correct. So what are the, can anyone try? What are the two conditions or what exceptions might be available to him being a person of Indian origin? Shad, I think it's too early to ask this, correct? Okay. Whoever was speaking, the network is not good. Okay, no worries. It might be too early to ask that question. Okay. So see, he is a foreign citizen, but he is a person of Indian origin, correct? His total income, excluding foreign income, exceeds 15 lakh. Yes. Okay. Liable to pay tax in any other country? No. Stay in India during previous year is 30 days. Okay. Stay in India during preceding previous year is 380 days. Correct. Dual conditions 6 subsection 6 means dual condition 6 subsection 6 is additional condition. Is satisfied? Yes. Do you think it will be NR or it should be anything else? See, Indian citizen? Citizen? No. Correct. Person of Indian origin? Yes. Indian source exceeds 15 lakh. Not a resident in any country. Correct. Basic, is he satisfying the basic conditions?
Yes.
How yes?
No, sorry.
No.
No.
So basic conditions not satisfied. Correct. Are you feeling like it should be RNOR by that deeming provision? If you are feeling yes, then please
So
don't feel that.
it won't it be deemed resident?
Correct. Why? Because he is not a Indian
Resident in
citizen.
any country.
No, 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 no. For RNOR, this one, Indian citizen has to be there. Correct? But see now, he is an Indian citizen or maybe but he was person of Indian origin. Correct? Has income for Indian source more than 15 lakh. Okay. These two are fulfilling. Don't you think RNOR should be there? No, it cannot be. Why?
No.
Because in this case, the second condition is modified, correct? So you should fall under either 120 days or 182 days. Then only RNOR. Correct? Here, basic conditions are not satisfied. Correct? So it will be NR. Okay, why I discuss this? So that you should get that clarity. Okay, if he would have been an Indian citizen, na, don't you think my answer would have changed to RNOR? RNOR. Do you agree to it? Why? See this condition. Indian citizen? Yes. Indian source income 15 lakh? Yes. Satisfying basic condition? No. Resident in any other country? No. Deemed resident RNOR. Don't you think this is the same condition? Just because he is not an Indian citizen, that's why it's NR. Correct? This point is clear? Okay, let's see the next one. Citizenship is Indian. Okay, good. Person of Indian origin? Yes. Total income excluding the foreign source exceeds 15 lakh? No. If it do not exceed 15 lakh, no RNO condition can be, RNOR conditions can be triggered, correct? Okay, liable to pay tax in Indian country? No, no need also. See, basic condition again not fulfilled, correct? If basic condition not fulfilled, we need not to check the additional condition as well, correct? So definitely he's a NR because no exceptions are lying on him. Yes, come on, reply, correct? You agree to it? रुचि, अलान, मुरली, फिर से बताऊं? I have network issue, can't hear properly. फिर से बताऊं? सी, ठीक है, सिटीजन ऑफ इंडियन का सिटीजन है, ठीक है, पर्सन ऑफ इंडियन ओरिजिन है, वो भी ठीक है, लेकिन 15 लाख से ज्यादा जब तक इंडियन सोर्स का इनकम नहीं होगा, RNOR वाला कोई बेसिक कंडीशन ट्रिगर नहीं होगा, करेक्ट? और जब वो ट्रिगर नहीं होगा तो कहां एक्सेप्शन मिलता है? अगर बेसिक कंडीशन फुलफिल करो, दो केसेस आते हैं ना यहाँ पे। एक केस देखिए, दो केसेस कौन कौन से आते हैं? देखिए, अगर मैं यही सिचुएशन बताऊं तो दो कौन कौन से केसेस आ सकते हैं। एक ये वाला कंडीशन आ सकता है, करेक्ट, जिसमें 60 डेज वाला रिलीफ हो, तो डेफिनेटली वो 182 डेज तो है ही नहीं, तो एनआर हो गया ना। 15 लाख से इंडियन इनकम सोर्स का ज्यादा नहीं है, करेक्ट, सो वो एनआर हो गया, करेक्ट। थर्ड वन, सिटीजनशिप इज इंडिया, नॉट इंडिया, इंडियन इट विल बी, पर्सन ऑफ इंडियन ओरिजिन, चलो ठीक है, 15 लाख से ज्यादा है, करेक्ट, लाइबल टू पे टैक्स इन एनी अदर कंट्री, नो, स्टेट बेसिक कंडीशन भी सेटिस्फाई नहीं करता, correct? Don't you think it is a perfect example of RNOR deemed resident? Person of Indian origin, total income of Indian source more than 15 lakh, liable to pay tax in any other country? No. दो बार हाँ बोला था, फिर नो बोला था, basic condition no, so he become RNOR. Correct? This is the perfect example matching this one. See, Indian citizen, yes. 15 lakh, yes. Basic condition no. Resident in any other country? No. तो आओ भाई, RNOR. I think this is perfectly clear now, correct? Okay. D, citizenship India, correct. Person of Indian origin, okay. 15 lakh, yes. Liable to pay tax in any other country, yes. Correct. Stay in India, see, again, basic condition not fulfilled. Correct. And he is liable to pay tax in other country. Okay. Because he is Indian citizen, so we cannot go on this example. See, you might feel like that we should go on to this one. If you go by that one also, na, then also it is a non-resident. Correct. See, actually, what here has to be done now, if I keep on speaking, explaining that, I am very sure that you won't get it that much of correct, that much. If you do it alone, now you will get that. Because what actually, see, I'm giving you a task. I know tomorrow in the morning only we have a session, so you won't get that time. But after tomorrow's session, now, write all the conditions, basic condition, additional condition, exceptions, and everything. Okay. Then take one case, okay, and take your page where you have written the condition. Okay. And try to full this details into your page. So you will definitely get that. And believe me, I think there are 8 cases regarding this. Okay. If you do this 8 now, you'll get tremendous feeling. You will get a tremendous, what I can say, confidence in it. Okay. Correct. So I hope you will do that. I have that much of belief in you. Okay. Okay. So this 4, okay, now this 4, I haven't written the residential status. Okay. So what I will do, it's on your task. Okay. I'll end it by 10:30 today. So I think it will take hardly 10 to 15 minutes. Okay. Each one of you, the 4 of you, you all are here. You all will fulfill it by today only. And you will send me a screenshot. And tomorrow in the morning, when we'll start our session, we'll start discussing this and I'll point out what you have done the mistakes. Correct?
Okay, sir.
Correct. Let's move on to illustration 4. Mr. X, aged 19 years, left India for the first time on May 31st, 2022. Okay. Determine his residential status for the previous year if he has left India for employment purpose. So if he has left India for employment purpose, that means exception to second basic condition. Second basic condition. So what is the only source of him becoming a resident? What is the basic condition to him? 182 days or more. Correct? He is living on 31st May. April and May. Only 2 months. Correct? So it is not being fulfilled. So he will be a non-resident. Yes, you all agree? So what was, let me write. Previous year is what? 22 and 23. Correct? Where this previous year starts from? 1st of April 2022 to 31st of 3, 2023. Correct? He has left on May. So it is April and May. In the next month only, so he has left on 31st May 2022. Definitely within 2 months, 182 days will not be fulfilled. So he is a non-resident. Okay. Now second one, you will try. He left India on world tour. You will try and reply me. We will consider going day and coming day. Yes. Typewriter started. I have got one answer.
चैट में लिखना आंसर,
Yes. क्या क्या फिर से बताइए.
चैट में लिखना है.
नहीं नहीं बताइए ना, उन्होंने बोल के बताया. अलान करेक्ट.
सर ही मतलब ही इज अ रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया.
Both condition. I need full answer.
Okay,
If he
he's
is
a
a resident.
resident of India and he's an ordinary resident.
Okay. रुचि आपने नॉन रेसिडेंट कैसे बोला रुचि? मैं तो ये समझ नहीं पा रहा हूँ. ये इंडिया के लिए वर्ल्ड टूर पे जा रहा है, करेक्ट? तो कोई एक्सेप्शन तो आएगा नहीं, करेक्ट? तो इसके लिए दोनों कंडीशन है, 182 डेज और 60 डेज प्लस 365 डेज, करेक्ट? 182 डेज तो डेफिनेटली नहीं हो रहा है, लेकिन आप अप्रैल और मई को टोटल करेंगे तो 61 डेज तो हो रहा है, करेक्ट? और इंडिया पहली बार छोड़ रहा है, मतलब डेफिनेटली 365 डेज का है, वो चारों के चारों साल पूरा यही था. तो हो गया ना दोनों का. और क्योंकि पहली बार इंडिया छोड़ रहा है, करेक्ट? सो दैट मीन्स व्हाट, 2 out of 10 plus 730 days in 7 preceding previous year, everything will be satisfied. It is deemed satisfied. So is a ROR. समझ में आया रुचि? Okay. One more illustration. X came India for the first time on 1st July, sorry, 24th July 2018. From July 24, 2018 to December 25, 2019, he was in India. Again, who came to India on 5th August 2022 for employment purpose and left India on November 25, 2022 permanently. Determine his residential status for the previous year 22-23, assuming he is a foreign citizen or he is an Indian citizen. Yes, what to be done? Guide me. What has to be done? See, I have prepared a table for the same. Okay, so let's write the year when he was in India, correct? So he was in India 24 July 2018 means 1819, correct? Okay, let's start with our first previous year, 22, 23. Okay, then 21, 22, 20, 21, 19, 20, and 18, 19. Correct. Now see, he came on 24th July 2018, correct? So somewhere around in this, okay, okay, let me do this as well. This will help me and you to adjust the thing. Okay, so he came on 24th July. Okay, how many days are there in July? 31, correct? And coming and going out day is also to be included. So if he came on 24th July, so how many days for July? 8 days, correct or not?
Yes.
8 days. Now see, when he left on 25th December 2019. That means July, August, September, sorry. No, I went correctly. Okay. July, August, September, October, November, December. See the year 2019. So it is in the next assessment year. Correct. December, Jan, Feb, March. Okay. Definitely he was there in April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and he left on 25th December. Correct? See, till this time he was there in India. Understand that a bit. Okay. Just do a favor for me. Just calculate the days, okay, and inform me. Just some of the days. Now see, what are the next? He again came to India on 5th August 2022. So this is falling in our assessment year. Correct? So that means this whole, this whole and this whole, he was not in India. He came on 5th August 2022. So if he came on 5th August, so how many days it will be? 27. Correct? August, and when he left, November 25th, 2022. Okay, so August he was there, September he was there, October as well he was there, but on November he left on 25th. Correct? Just add it and just inform me once what are the total. अरे कोई टोटल नहीं कर रहा क्या? क्या कर रहा हूँ? 27 plus 30, 113. 69. Okay. 8 plus 31 plus 30 plus 31 plus 30 plus 30 plus 31 plus 30. 251. Okay. Okay. Now, inform me something. Does his citizenship will differ the answer? Definitely not, correct? Because it is not falling under any of the exceptions, correct? So we know that citizenship has nothing to do with residential status. Now see, so 182 basic condition is being crossed because it is only 113 days, correct? But in the 4 preceding previous year, it has to be 365 days or more, correct? Now you will add it, you will see that yes, basic condition 2 is being fulfilled, correct? Now we need to check the additional condition, correct? And what are the additional condition? In 10 out of 2 previous year, he should be resident. We can see in 19, 20 and 18, 19, he is more than 182 days, correct? So definitely his 2 years he is resident out of 10. But that's 7 years of 730 days, that is not being fulfilled. Correct or not? Yes. So the solution will be he is a resident but not already not ordinary resident. Okay, if I write it in detail, basic condition number 2 is fulfilled, but additional both are not fulfilled. Yes, everybody, you all agree to it? What happening? Are you all in sleepy mood?
नो सर.
तो समझ में आया ना क्या हुआ, क्या किया मैंने?
यस सर.
Everyone? Okay, Murli got it. Alan and Ruchi? Okay, so what I'll do, because tomorrow morning as well we have a session. Okay, so I'll keep it up to here. Okay, your work for today will be that you'll need 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, do fulfill this. Okay, and send me a screenshot, everyone. Tomorrow when I'll start in the morning, okay, I'll check it first and then we'll move ahead. Okay, so for now we'll keep it up to here. We'll continue in the next session. Thank you, everybody. And yes, one thing to be said from my side is that, okay, just by being in the class, okay, I know that you understand it, okay, but until unless you go through it once, okay, from your end, it won't be crystal clear. Okay, so see you in the next session. Till then, thank you.